let's get to the video. Let's roll intro. The music is on point. It's just great people watching. Of course, the food and the drinks were fantastic. By this point, you must have seen Tulum all over social media, and you might have wondered to yourself, is it overhyped? Is it actually as great as it seems to be online? Well, I had the same question myself, and I decided to go ahead and venture this place. If you only have 24 hours in this place, this is the video you must check out. What is up, fam? We have made it to Tulum Ruins. The Tulum Ruins are located very close to town. It's a short, maybe like between a 5 and 15-minute cab ride. There you go.
Tulum Ruins. The wall limited the area where the elite would get to inhabit, where the monumental, beautiful, and important buildings were found out. So it's a sign of status being next to the important buildings, while the working class would get to live outside the wall. The city was active by the time Spaniards came to Mexico, but with the conquest, it got abandoned. The jungle took over. In order to get the rock to become dust, you need to keep it in fire for at least 1 week. So imagine how much wood just to get their huge cities built. There were several cities archaeologists believe were abandoned and at some moment because the city got so big and they just finished all the natural resources they had around.
The elite folks lived protected by the wall, facing the ocean, while the rest of the population were right outside the wall, because Tulum was a port town city and very important for trading purposes. And the house behind me, the one we're showing you, was such a high status to the point that they even have an altar outside of their own home because folks would bring offerings for them.
Temples, religious buildings, were only meant to be accessible for people that were the ritual specialists.
What's fascinating about this is that this is the only area in the Yucatan region with cliffs. And the benefit of that was obviously, as you can imagine, being able to oversee at a higher level and be able to see further away, as well as being protected from the ocean. The houses, the elites, were built out of limestone, whereas the other folks that maybe were not as elite or high status, essentially they would have a foundational rock where they would build their house upon. It's also important to point out that none of this area looks the way it looks now in terms of like flat land, no vegetation. If you think about it, folks had to work through and remove the vegetation back when they were setting up the settlement and remove all the extra wild plants, etc., make it look like this and make it livable and prepare it for them to move in. So imagine the tons of hours, the labor, the work that went into that, the sweat equity to make this the place it is now. When it comes down to cameras, if you have a GoPro, they will charge you 50 pesos. I'm carrying a ZV-E10 and they were just fine with it. They didn't say anything, perhaps because I came in early in the morning. If you come later in the day, it gets crowded. I'm now leaving the ruins and look, the line is never ending. When it comes to Tulum Beach, essentially, you have to either go into one of the beach clubs or restaurant by the beach if you want access to it. Once you're past that public beach, essentially they typically have some sort of minimum spend when it comes down to whether that's depending on where you want to sit, whether it's crowded or not, depending on the time of the season of the year. So let's go and check out what the scene is like. So these folks told me it's about like 2,000 pesos and you get about 1,000 back. So I mean, so far it's chill vibes. I ended up getting myself a fun ceviche as well as a plate of fruit as dessert. I mean, the vibes are incredible. The people, it's just great people watching in general. The music is on point. It's just great people watching. The ocean, oh my God, the ocean is just in front of us, enjoying it. And honestly, I couldn't ask for a better Thursday. Looks like I may have an over order here. Trying out ceviche. Only Tulum does a guy with a saxophone come out and start playing in the middle of the beach. I don't know, definitely a thumbs up. What's up, fam? So it is dinner time here in Tulum, so I decided to book myself a fun dinner experience.
Hey guys, I'm Pablo, so we are gonna do a mezcal tasting.
For context, the Airbnb experience is essentially 4 courses located in a very intimate setting in the middle of town, but it feels like you're walking to a jungle. And it also includes tastings of mezcals throughout the dinner. And what's amazing about it is the intimate setting, the vibe, the conversations just flowing. Even though I just got here, we got a chance to introduce ourselves, get to know who's around. Dinner has yet to start. But overall, I mean, I'm getting the sense of great energy, great conversation.
I'm originally from Mexico City. We have a 4-course meal between 5 mezcales, and every time we cook is really fresh, based on what you guys tell us. So yeah, thank you for coming, and let's make some new friends and have a good night. Yeah.
Agave-based spirit. Both tequila and mezcal come from the agave, and agave is a succulent plant that typically grows in drier climates. One of my favorite sayings that I've learned since moving to Mexico is para todo mal mezcal y para todo bien también. Salud!
Salud.
Cheers. So Pablo is an expert in cooking. He's a chef background, and Courtney has a pastry desserts background. So it's amazing. It's a great combination of these two, and the energy of the people, the conversations, as well as the food. They just blend so well. Cheers. That is delicious orange cake. What's amazing about it is like sponginess, the texture, the sweetness combined with the nutty flavor, the caramel on it. Oh, to die for. I just want to thank me for being me and for bringing myself to this dinner because the food has been incredible. The ambience, the welcoming host and hostess that we had today, both Pablo and Courtney were just amazingly welcoming and just they knew what they were doing. The people that came out was just also just interesting, just very welcoming, warm, kind, and the food, of course. The food and the drinks were fantastic. Everything from the appetizers to the main course and the dessert, along with the different mezcals and the tastings. It was just beautiful. It was just delicious. So I highly recommend if you're thinking about coming to Tulum to check out this experience, this multi-course food experience, the ambience, the location. When you walk in, you would never think this is what this place is. It's a dive center, and they have turned it into this dinner place in the evenings, and it's just amazing. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It truly helps the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.